Hey everybody, so we got a top round of venison here. I got a pan that's heating up, and I got diced onion because I don't have any fresh, and minced garlic, and a half a stick of butter here. We're gonna get pot roast going this morning because I have a lot to do today, and I'll be making sausage and hopefully posting videos from the venison we got when we went to Virginia. So bear with me. That pan's starting to smoke. That's perfect. We're gonna cut it back just a tiny bit. I had it on high. You want this pan to be smoking hot. And we're gonna get a good layer of butter in there. Make sure this is up to medium-high heat. And then it's still smoking. Now this hasn't thawed yet. It's been sitting out for a couple minutes. But we're just gonna get it seared off in there. Move it around to the hot parts of the pan. What we're looking for is to give it a good golden brown color on the outside. Since the meat's frozen, the pan got a little cool real fast, so I turned up the heat some. Let's see what that side looks like yet. Here's some of the seasonings we're going to be using. Got a fork. Got the crock pot with a couple cups of water in it, just preheating. Alright, there we go. We want a little more color than that in it. So this top round is one of the cuts that comes off the hind quarter of the deer. I hear it referred to as a football roast. Yeah, there's some nice color. I got that pan getting hot now. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Alright, now we're maintaining heat a little better. Let's dial that back. But you definitely want it to smoke. Smoking hot this year. I got the tongs, still works better. Alright, so now that we got that seared, we want to take it. We'll leave the butter in the pan for a moment. Get this over here to the crock pot and just set it in there for right now. So we got the roast in the crock pot. Now we need to, all right, this pan's still smoking hot. So we're gonna get us a nice, well, if I don't make a mess of it, nice big spoon of garlic. Two of those. Something right in there. Chopped freeze-dried onions. We're just gonna add all that. Okay. What's left? Give it a little stir. This stuff's good and browned up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. And get a spatula here. And we're gonna take this whole pan over the crock pot. And we're just gonna scoop that right on in. I'm gonna have to cut the camera so I can do that. All right, we're back. The onions and garlic are on top of the roast. Now we're gonna start with ground mustard. And we're gonna go ahead. Now I don't really measure, I just look for what's good, but you want quite a bit of ground mustard. You can use mustard from a bottle. You can use, my favorite is the stone ground mustard that you get at the store. We're gonna go in this Worcestershire, and don't be afraid to get some flavor in there. I use quite a bit of Worcestershire, just like I do mustard. Italian seasoning, and as you can see, I'm not sprinkling, we're dumping. So we go with that. Make sure everything's a good bit of it in there. Pepper, you're gonna pepper the flavor. I like quite a bit of pepper. By the time this is said and done, it'll mellow out because this is gonna be in there all day. And then coarse kosher salt. I want to be a little bit, I'm not a big salt fan, but I just want to sprinkle some in there. About like that. And then we just top it off with water, leave it on high, and let it cook. And then we're gonna let it cook. It's right now just after 9 a.m. and we're gonna cook it till about 4:30, somewhere in that area. And I'll come back and we'll add some vegetables to it. All right, and just as promised, we are back to the venison roast we put in this morning. And we have some goodies to go in with it. I'm gonna have to wash these off or rinse them off real quick, but what we have is we have some radishes. And if you've never roasted radishes or put them in with your pot roast or anything like that, they cook up nice and soft just like the potatoes, and they add just a little extra to it. We got some carrots here and some really big carrots and some celery. Yep, that's just about right. And then some potatoes. So let me get these rinsed off and I'll be right back. All right, we're back with our freshly washed vegetables. I'm gonna start with the carrots because they make the most mess. And I just use the back of the knife to scrape the skin off. Just like that. And all the extra little pieces and parts, they can be given to the chickens. The dogs also seem to like carrots. All right, there's one. The back of the knife just peels off the outer layer nicely. Okay. And then we'll get rid of that end. Get rid of that end. That didn't look so good. All right. Now that the carrots are getting a little thick, we're just going to slice them down the middle. And then continue cutting. we go. Just cut this down the middle. Sort of, almost in the middle. Okay. A little bit sloppy on the knife cuts there. Oh well. Okay. Just open that up. And we're going to go ahead and add our carrots. We want to do the carrots and the potatoes first, because they'll take the longest amount of time. As you can see, that juice got nice and dark in there with the Worcestershire sauce and all that stuff. And let's turn you back around and we'll get back over to the island. All right, we want to get our potatoes cut. So we're going to half, quarter, and then I like to do thirds on potatoes this size. Okay. Half and quarter. Thirds. There we are. Head back over. Yep, see the dogs trying to help me. There. All right, we're back to the crock pot. And then go the potatoes. So if I drop them on top of the meat, it keeps the splash down to a minimum. Still gets splashed a little bit. Okay, I think we can get the last two vegetables in one shot here. So for the radishes, we're just going to cut off the ends. And then we're going to half them. The chickens can have anything left over. I'm not giving the dogs radishes. Chickens can have that. I might quarter this one because it's so big. Now these will be totally white when they come out of with the roast, because they'll be cooked. They don't keep the red color. I missed that one by a little bit. And radishes are really good roasted. All right, there's our radishes. All celery ready. Okay. There we go. I won't care much for those ends. All right. Last little bit with the radishes and the celery. Now you can always add the celery in the beginning of this process and it'll add a little bit to the broth. So let's go ahead and stir this up. Now the vegetables have cooled off the broth pretty well, so we need to let that get up to temperature again. Keep it covered. It is right now 440. It's probably going to take about 2 hours to cook those vegetables. And it'll be ready to eat about 6:40, 6:45.